Hey, it's Tommy here from Reasons Fitness. My guest today is none other than Leanne Cryer, and in this episode we're going to be talking about some of the myths in the fitness industry. We're going to be putting a few things right, and we're also going to be sharing what the best thing is to do for you right now if you want to get seriously fit. Let's do this. It's great to have you here, Leanne.
Thank you.
We're
Hello,
going to
everybody.
be putting the worlds to rights today. We're going to be talking about some myths,
Okay,
some
yep.
common misconceptions that people have about training, about exercise. There's a bit of a running joke going,
Yep.
which I'll let you explain, to do with a few words that people use when they're talking about training. One of which is toning.
Okay.
So why don't you go ahead and sort of fill in the gaps?
Okay, yes. So quite commonly, I might get clients or people might join the gym because in their head they're thinking that I want to lose weight and I want to tone up. So because of a lot of things that are out there and advice that is given, which is unfortunately given wrong, people will think that I need to come to the gym, I need to do high repetitions because I just want to get that tone look of my body. I don't want to bulk up, so I don't want to be lifting heavy weights. I just want to keep the weights light, so I'm just going to get a toned look. Okay, so that's probably something that maybe a long time ago I used to think as well before I knew and I completely changed my training. But so what I want to kind of like get across today is we don't actually tone a muscle. Okay, so
We're just about to delve into the science now.
yeah, so whether we're actually working with a heavy load that we can do minimal reps with, or if we're working with a lighter load that we can do more repetitions with, we're actually stressing the muscle for it to almost, we're basically like slightly tearing it for it to then repair with good nutrients, etc. We need to make sure that we get adequate rest, recovery, we're getting the right foods in. So depending on where you are with that, depends on what actually happens with the muscle. But basically, if you're looking for that toned look, we need to actually need to build the muscle. So when we stress the muscle, we're just building it.
Yeah.
But it all depends on how much we're actually gonna build the muscle.
Yes.
And also for women, it's not quite as easy as you think to build muscles. We are all different, all to do with hormones, etc. Some women do naturally find that they can put on muscle quicker than some women. But I've kind of like drifted away from toning now.
Well, I think
but
the toning word is a lot friendlier. It's sort of nicer, and
Yeah.
I guess it's easier as a woman, particularly, to say,
Yeah.
I'm going to do a bit of toning than I'm going to do some strength training.
Yeah.
Although I do think it is starting to shift.
Oh,
More women are
definitely,
embracing the word
yeah.
strength and strong and
Yeah,
the
yeah.
connotations.
Yeah.
But I guess it's kind of this weird sort of child of the 90s in a way, isn't it? Because you've got
Yeah.
the toning, the aerobic
Toning tables.
type,
Yeah.
and
Toning
then
classes.
the strength the landscape of strength in the 90s would have been women that were probably going to the extremes
Yeah.
with their massive muscles, and
Yeah.
so like, well, if you had to choose between the two, you'd go, well, I'm going to tone
Yeah.
because I don't want to look like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
When really it's
You are actually
very they're on
yeah.
different planets.
Yeah.
And strength training is everything. It's just
Yeah,
that there's
yeah.
two very different points there on the scale.
Yeah.
So like for someone who's watching this then and that's going, what do you mean I can't tone? Like I just want to tone. I just want to lose weight and tone up, which
Yeah.
is what we hear all the time.
Yeah.
We've done a lot of work over the last 10 years
Yeah.
on
20.
goal setting. Yeah. Well, you and I 10 years. We won't go any further back than that. Like when you did my teen scene, we won't talk about that. But the point is, in the time which we've both been doing what we're doing, and the people that you've worked with, people that we've worked with as a gym, lose weight and tone up is the absolute. If it was Family
Yeah.
Fortunes, that would be like ding 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 ding, the top answer.
Yeah.
Because everybody wants to do that,
Yeah.
but they don't. They want to do strength training and they want to get leaner. They just don't know that that's what they want yet.
Yeah.
And that's why we're doing this, because we want people to
Yeah.
know that it's okay.
Yeah.
If there's anyone to look at, it's you. You are the evidence of, like, people look at
Yeah.
you and they go, if I could only have like half the results that you have,
Yeah.
but you'd call it strength training.
I would, yeah. I mean, like, you're still going to get elements of strength if you do slightly higher repetitions, and you're still going to build muscle even if you're working in like the strength ranges with lower reps. But I do mix my training up because I need to still work on strength, but I also want to put on muscle.
Yes.
Which naturally doesn't come that easy to me. People might think, oh, you know, I bet it's really easy for her. But
It's
I
always
have been
easy
training.
assumption. Yeah.
I have been training for a long time, and when you if you were to actually see when I train, for example, I do minimal cardio because I literally spend my sessions focusing on weight training. So I'll split my sessions up, so I'm working my muscles multiple times per week, and that is solely all I do. So I'm not beasting myself in a session. Yeah.
Yeah, because let's talk about that. That's another word that gets used a lot.
Yeah.
Beasting myself. You know, this. If I'm going to be slim and I'm going to be fit and healthy, I'm going to have to put myself through my paces. I'm going to have to feel the burn. I'm going to have to like not be able to walk afterwards and all this stuff and like sweat loads and all that. Yeah. Like, what's the truth there?
Yeah.
I mean, is there, from your point of view, is there benefit in that sort of approach for people?
I mean, a lot of people do it. Depends on why they're doing it. Some people do it because they physically enjoy being beasted.
Yeah.
They enjoy that feeling that they get from it. But if you're purely doing it because you want to look good, as in get leaner, be more muscular, then it's not really the way forward. Because when you're in an environment where you're beasting yourself, you're more likely to get injury. You're not going to progress the muscles to the point where you're taking them to the next step. Ideally, like for example, you're in a class environment and you're expected to go from doing like 20 burpees to then going into press-ups and then doing pull-ups and all of that. You fatigued yourself before you've got to your press-ups and your chin-ups. Yeah. So you're not going to have the ability to be able to put your best into that exercise. So it's all about actually having rest, the right amount of rest between. Yeah. Yeah.
Trying to get someone to come in and say, cool, well done, now sit there for a minute. In their head, they're thinking, I'm not getting what I need right now. And I guess as a PT, there are ways that you can fill those gaps without stressing the muscles in a negative way. You could, have another exercise that could keep the brain going. But you know, talking about the brain side of things, the mental gains from both the beasting approach and the more patient, disciplined, routine approach, the specificity approach. I guess when you're beasting, you do build that mental resilience of like, well, if I can push myself through this, then I can push myself through whatever else I've got going on. Yeah. But also, you learn a hell of a lot from the other way. You learn about patience. Yeah. You learn about real results. You know, we get, when people train like that, like you've been sharing, there's not so much of this whole bounce back, like, you know, people, and this is not putting anyone down or anything, but having the profile picture from 4 years ago, because that was the one time that you did 4 weeks of beasting, but it wasn't maintainable. You couldn't keep it up forever. And I guess you don't learn how to do that when you're just beasting yourself all the time. No. What do you think? So with that, I mean, do you ever sort of beast yourself? Do you go through phases of that at all?
If I'm honest, because I compete, I have competed, so like I have to be really strict my training, focusing on muscle building and just fat burning, so not stressing my cardiovascular system too much. But I do miss that, because like I do enjoy like a little bit of beasting myself, don't get me wrong, but I know that that's not the way forward if I want to progress with my fitness. And my competing.
So your sport, and like, I guess if you take the element of sport out of it and competition, and you go on the actual result, if we could give people like 3 options, there's 3 cards on the table here. You can either be lean and have great muscle definition, all right, see your abs, you know, feel good about how you look. You can be extremely fit so that you can run, jump, swim, all that. Or you can like sweat a lot and not be able to walk the next day, every day. You know, which one would you choose? They'd probably choose the first one. You know, most people would choose that first one. So even though you're doing it as part of your sport, it's still the end result that a lot of people want, you know? And so like, there's this whole thing around impatience and social media, and if you look at it and think, oh, you know, I need to do that in order to be like that. And one thing that I really respect and admire about you is that you are you're an incredible positive role model for people in everything that you do and share. You know, you don't sell out, if you know what I mean. You know, you're not like, hey, here's the reason I look like this. It's this one thing that I do. It's not that. It's never one thing. It's an accumulative effort of all the things and trial and error. What's been the hardest thing for you with like getting to where you're at now with it all?
The hardest thing.
Was it tough to stop doing all the cardio?
I think initially, no.
Was it a relief?
But then, no. Because I do like running. I really like running. But I don't do a lot of that anymore.
It's overrated.
But like, it's overrated. Yeah.
We might offend a few people.
Yeah.
But this is somebody that does what she does and doesn't run, which is people associate. Oh, you must run loads.
Yeah.
And someone who did a sub-4 marathon without doing any practice
Yeah.
runs, so probably not the right people to talk to about running.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not necessary.
Not necessarily, no.
Unless
you want to run.
Exactly.
You enjoy running.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's all about what you want to do.
Yeah.
What you
So many
enjoy
other
doing.
ways to do the calorie burning and the the health benefit. But yeah, anyway.
But I think a lot of the time it's nutrition, it's food for people.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you had a challenge, didn't you, with that? Because I remember when you started competing, you had to shift a few things. Was that tough?
Was it? I don't know.
You were holding on to things
See,
like
I'll say no, it wasn't
sugar
tough.
in your tea, I think. Was that one? There was something
Yeah,
that
sugar.
Sauce?
Sugar, ketchup.
That's it.
Yeah,
I knew there was something
I was
like
a bit
that.
of a ketchup person, even with my roast dinner.
And all these margins count. They all count, don't they? When you're competing.
Yeah.
So was that tough?
No.
No.
I say that only because I've got quite a if I've got something in my head that I want to achieve and I want to do, I will do it. And I just I block out. Yeah. Because it is really we convince ourselves things at the end of the day, don't we? Like with the old sweet tooth thing.
Yes.
Yeah, we don't have a sweet tooth, you just like sweet things.
You don't have a sweet tooth, you have an excuse.
Yeah. So if I was to sit there and keep saying to myself, oh, I miss ketchup, I miss ketchup, I miss ketchup, I want ketchup, I want ketchup, I can't have these things, I can't have these things, then I probably would have made it harder for myself. But I didn't, because I was aware of that. I just, that's what I'm doing. Yeah. I'm not having it anymore. Yeah.
That's really cool. Now, I've got one more thing to put across to you before we finish. Let's imagine you're starting again today, and you weren't in the shape that you're in. Let's say, for argument's sake, that you were 3 sizes bigger, 3 female clothes sizings bigger than you are now. What if you were that, and you're in that position, you're starting again, you know what you know now, but you just don't have it all now. What would you do? What would be the first thing that you do?
My food.
Yeah.
Food out.
So you'd look at that, and how would you approach that then? What would you be looking for? So if someone's in a similar position now and they think, well, I just want to get started, I'm fed up with being like in this cycle where I'm not getting anywhere. What would you do first?
Are we talking about someone that doesn't know necessarily about food?
No, like just as your example, like
for me, I know exactly what I'd do. If I needed to get that little bit leaner, I just need to cut my calories down a little bit. Basically.
Which sounds so like unglamorous, but it's just the way. Isn't it?
It's basic, yeah.
And I think like there is one step before that, which I know you'll agree with, and that's knowing. Like a lot of the stuff I do outside of the fitness stuff is just knowing the information, knowing the data, and looking at what you can do. You need to know what your data is. So you need to start tracking what you're eating now. A lot of people miss that bit.
And being smart, like with what they eat. I have a big appetite, so I know I need to eat food that's going to satisfy me and fill me up. So, for example, I see certain foods as being empty calories because they won't satisfy me, they won't fill me up. So, like
not dense enough, too small.
No, like yogurts, for example. Yogurts. Don't eat yogurts. Drinks, for example, if they've got any calories in.
This doesn't.
No, that doesn't.
But others do.
But others do, that you can buy.
Coffees, lattes,
cappuccinos. I wouldn't even think about that.
Big stumbling blocks for people.
I wouldn't even consider having one. I would have an Americano.
It's like 4 calories or something.
I wouldn't, because it's wasted. And then I just think more about filling myself up with nutrients-dense food. Chicken, broccoli, rice. I eat oats, eggs, salmon. So I can make sure I get my fats in. Essential fats, very important.
And if you want any help with all of this, you can just message Leanne. You can ask any questions that you've had about this interview or anything else that's come to mind. What's the best way for people to get hold of you to do that? Where would you like them to contact you?
Through email, really.
Email? Which is? Go ahead and share.
It is info@lcfitnesscoaching.com.
With all your questions about anything that we've spoken about or anything that you think Leanne could help you with, she'll be more than happy to help. I assume.
I will,
Put
yeah,
her on the spot.
definitely, yeah.
Get all these
Yeah,
emails
yeah,
coming in, you can't
yeah.
keep up with it.
Yeah.
Because it is not easy. Let's just be
No.
very clear. Like, there's no part of this that's saying, hey, it's easy, what are you playing at?
Yeah.
It's not easy, and it's something you have to continually work at. But the thing that we've got, like, we wanted to talk about, and because we've got a bit of an issue with,
Yeah.
is like, if you're going to do something, do the right thing.
Yeah.
Because it's such a shame when your efforts go to waste.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So like, it's not necessarily about like doing it or not, it's what you do. You've got to make it count.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what this is all about.
Yeah. And maybe just consider like what social media things that you follow.
What would you say?
And
What would be your advice?
Or what advice you follow, or people you follow. Remember that there are a lot of people out there they don't really care about
No,
you.
they care about your clicks.
Yeah, and they also care that you're paying them for their monthly program.
Yeah.
That Tom's doing and Leanne's doing exactly the same, even though they want different goals, because it's just a program. Yeah, they just throw it out and then they give out advice because they know that that's the advice you want, because you want easy.
Because you want
it now.
And that's not your fault either.
Yeah.
Like,
No, it's not.
That's
And,
just our
yeah.
human conditioning. Especially this day and age, we're
Amazon
conditioned
Prime's fault.
exactly. Amazon. There are other services available,
Yes.
but the point is that
Yeah.
the instant gratification of
Yeah.
I want something and I'll have it now.
Yeah.
Right from choosing a song, we had to wait until the song came on the radio.
Yeah.
And if we had our tape thing, we could
We
record it
record
and then
it,
we could
yeah.
play it on demand. Now, it's like, boom, you want
Yeah,
the song, you
there's
go
it.
get it. You want the
Yeah.
movie, you go get it. You want the food, you go get it. You want the
Yeah.
results, you go, oh,
Yeah.
you can't cheat that.
No.
But we are getting played on with this, and lots of people are falling down to this process.
Yeah.
We should talk about this because
Yeah.
it's so important that people understand, but also, as professionals in this industry, we have to be role models and lead the way. It's breaking people
Yeah.
because this is the thing again,
Yeah.
they're doing something,
Yeah.
and that's good. Like, you're strapping on your trainers, you're doing up your laces, and you're doing this program,
Yeah.
but you shouldn't be. But the reason you are is because you follow some fucking idiot on social media, and
Yeah.
it's probably a bit harsh. You follow a person on social media who is too insecure in their own self that they feel like they have to sell you a program to fuel their lifestyle.
Yeah.
And the program is you putting your hope and your energy into something
Yeah.
which then doesn't work, and then you bully yourself about it because you think you're
Yeah.
the odd one out because all the other people that did it must also look like this guy or that girl.
Yeah, they must have a six-pack.
You're the one,
yeah, straight
exactly,
away.
you suck.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so it crumbles your self-confidence, does the
Yeah.
exact opposite thing at the expense of the person's self-confidence going up.
Yeah.
And it's not pretty. There are, of course, some people, a few, that are giving programs where they do put the time in, and
Oh yeah, definitely.
it's not
yeah.
everyone, but
Yeah.
it's the
There are
mainstream
a lot
for
of
sure.
knowledgeable and people that really do want to give out the right advice out there.
Yeah.
It's just there are some that don't.
It's the mainstream that is the problem.
Yeah.
I cannot
There's-
stand
Yeah.
how somebody who has a lot of information that's very helpful and someone who hasn't, someone who's in it for the right reasons, someone who isn't. This person can be a drop in the ocean in terms of like how much of impact they can make on social media, and this person can be everywhere simply because this person bends over more on social media.
Yeah.
That is it.
Yeah. It is. Yeah.
Why, like,
Sex sells, as they say.
and I can understand if you were infiltrating that because you had people's best interests at heart at the other end, but I see a lot of the time people, they're like the common workout to share online. The most common workout to share online consists of some kind of squat,
Yeah.
filmed from behind, obviously. Not the side, where it's probably more important to check out, the angle.
Yeah.
Good mornings, of course. We need to see the good mornings. Oh, straight leg deadlift. That's always a good one for the clicks.
Yeah. Any booty exercise.
Well, exactly. But like, come on, people. There's other websites for that,
There is. Yeah.
which will
I
probably
wouldn't
be.
know about that.
But like, that's the reason why, because it gets that
It does,
attention, but
yeah.
it's not good. It's not good for your health.
Looks pretty.
Yeah, we've
Looks
got to
nice.
suffocate it. So yeah, why don't you share one more point on this, because it feels like I'm just ranting at everyone's
Social
face.
media. Yeah. Okay. So, to get results, you have to put in hard work. So if someone's selling you something that you don't really feel is particularly hard work, and it seems unlikely that it's possible, then don't buy into it. Yeah, and just research, because it's so easy to get the right research out there. And remember, everyone is human. We all make mistakes. Nobody is perfect. You know, I can't help myself from eating protein bars because I really like them, and I know, you know, like if I've had 3 in one day, no, Leanne, you don't need to do that. But like, I don't beat myself up for it.
Yeah.
Even if I have a bar of chocolate or I have a meal out, I don't beat myself up about it, because that's the worst thing I could possibly do. Yeah. I just
I love that.
Following dare, just get on with it. Just back to how I was, normal. Yeah.
I love that, and just not putting people down.
Yeah.
And suggesting that they are wrong or that they are a failure because they're not eating perfect food.
No.
It's not.
No.
It's like proper boring as well to just like eat perfect. And I don't think
I
you
don't
can
eat
ever.
perfect.
I don't think
No.
perfect. I don't think it even exists. Like everybody who's into their nutrition and their exercise needs to realise that like you don't complete it. You don't, because every day you're getting older, right? All of us are getting older.
Yeah.
So our demands on our energy are changing.
Yeah.
Factors of life change. We get injuries, we get illnesses, we get weather changes, we get stresses, we get all these things. So like your food has to go and mould round whatever it is that you're doing and what you're going through.
Yeah.
So you never like complete it.
Yeah.
Always changing.
Yeah.
All the time. And like we've got to take the pressure off ourselves to try and be perfect. I think.
Yeah, because what is perfect anyway?
Doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It's like chasing.
Just
it's like trying to catch air.
Yeah. It's just
Impossible.
Yeah. It's about self-acceptance, isn't it?
A lot of the time, yeah. A lot of the time it is. And like people could watch this on like one day. They could watch it and they could take something from it, depending on where they're at in their life right now. They could watch it again a year later, having gone through some kind of journey, and they'd pick up on different things that we've said today.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's stuff there to resonate with people no matter what level they're at, and that's testament to the landscape of this. It's tough and it's complicated, but you can just focus on the next step. That's all that counts.
Yeah.
That's how we do it. So
Last thing that babbling on now.
What's the last thing that you'd like to share, maybe for our members and community here at Reasons?
How brilliant you are. You all train really, really hard, and even if we've got a mixture of age groups that come here and they all work out together, which is lovely to see, and keep doing what you're doing. Yeah, and if you ever wanted to ask me any question, just come and ask me.
The website again is?
Email address
is?
info@lcfitnesscoaching.com.
You heard it here first. Thanks for watching. Remember, subscribe to the YouTube channel, subscribe to our podcast, and if you have any questions, send them in on social media @Reasons Fitness. We'll see you next time.
See you later.